there, Ariana from Crafting Happiness here. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet the loop stitch. And for you I made two samples to see how it looks like when you use multiple colors. This is the single color version, and the back is quite flat and tight, and the front it's got the loops on each other row. And this is the color sample I made by changing colors every 2 rows, and you can see that better from the back. And the front it's got the loops, and this is a pretty simple pattern, a 2-row repeat pattern. Do not get intimidated by the loops, they're quite easy to make. I will show you how to make yours fairly the same size. So let's get started. For this tutorial I'm using a run yarn in green and a 5mm crochet hook. You can use any yarn you like with a matching hook. The pattern doesn't require you to chain multiples of chains. You can chain as many as you like. In my chain I have 23 stitches. Keep in mind you'll be losing 1 stitch when you make the first row. So let's start with row 1 and single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then single crochet in each stitch across. And this is your first row, just a simple row of single crochet stitches. And now on the second row we will start making our loops. So chain 1, this doesn't count as a stitch, and turn. And I'm making the first stitch without a loop because I like to have some sort of border like you see here. So the first stitch is not a loop. If you want to skip this, it's absolutely fine, but I recommend you not starting the loop from the very first stitch. So what I'm doing is make a single crochet in the very first stitch and then start my loops. And to make a loop, this is how I'm holding my yarn. With my little finger I'm controlling the tension, so if I want it to be more loose I release the yarn. If I want to be more tight I hold it tight, and then the tension is tighter. So keep your yarn quite short from your finger to your work. I usually gauge it by the size of my hook, so this is how you can control and make the loops equal. And then insert your hook into the next stitch, pick up this loop and the second one and pull them through the stitch. And as you can see you have here 2 loops, and with this one is 3. This is your loop. Release the loop and hold it with your finger like so, and then yarn over and pull through all the loops. And this is the loop that you made, and it's quite tight, it won't unravel. And keep in mind you'll be working on the wrong side, so the loops will be created at the back of your work. So now let's make another loop. Like I said, gauge it with your hook to make sure it's the same size. Insert your hook, pull up this loop, this yarn, and then the second, and just pull through. Then release the loop, hold it with your finger like so, and yarn over and pull through all these 3 loops on your hook. And on the wrong side it will look like a row of single crochet. On the other side you'll be having the loops, which are quite equal. And the size of the loops, it depends on how far your finger is from the work. So if you want to make a small loop, then hold your finger close to the work, insert your hook into the next stitch, pick up the left loop, then the right loop, pull them both through the stitch. Now release the loop, hold it with your finger, and pull through all loops. And if you see in the back, the loop, it's a lot smaller compared to the previous one. So all you have to do, I think, in the most important part is to gauge how big your loops you want it to be. So just make a test sample to get used to on how far your finger with the wrapped around yarn is from your work. And then like I said, I usually pull the loop all the way to this spot on my hook where the numbers are, and just make sure it's the same length. That's how I calculate the length of my loops. Then insert your hook into the stitch, pick up the left loop and then the right loop and pull it through. Release, yarn over your finger, and with the middle finger hold the loop, yarn over and pull through all. And as you can see now, again, this loop is equal to this. So let's make a few. I'll do them in like slowly for you to see how it is. So again, my loop on a hook reaches the number. I know it's the same length. Insert my hook into the next stitch, pick up the left and then the right loop. Let's try again. Left and right, pull through, yarn over and pull through the three loops, and just continue like this all the way until the end of the row, until you have one stitch left in which we're going to single crochet, and then we'll create the border that I was talking about. If you don't want that border, it's absolutely fine. You can just make a loop in every single stitch. So let's continue. And now I reach my last stitch, and I'm just going to make a simple single crochet in it. And this is your second row, and this is the back of it. This is the wrong side, and the loops are on the other side, and this is how it looks like that. and if you pull them, they will not unravel because we cut them when we pull through all the 3 stitches. So they will be the same size, and it will not pull on the other side. They will just stay like that, secured. All right, so now our third row is just another single crochet row. So chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, and then starting from the first stitch, we are going to make a single crochet in each all the way until the end of the row. All right, so we completed the third row. This is how it looks like. And now we are going to chain 1 and turn and start our third row, which is a row of loops. And again, single crochet in the very first stitch, and then we'll start making our loops. So again, as you can see, my yarn is where it meets the numbers. You can make any kind of measuring. You can put a tape on your hook if you don't have the same design, just to make sure you have the same length from your finger to your work, and that way your loops will be the same size. So if you don't have a hook like mine, just put some tape over it so you know where to measure your yarn. Mine is quite easy because I have this part here. So now let's start making a first loop in this row. Like I said, insert the hook, pull, grab the left and then the right yarn, and then yarn over your finger, and with the middle finger hold this loop away, yarn over and pull through all the loops, and then move on to the next one. And the next one. And for the first few loops you'll have to actually measure and check, but as you get used to it, it will become automatic to you. You know exactly how far, how long you want your loop to be. So as I was working on a baby blanket made with loop stitch, after a few rows I didn't even look, I didn't even think how far my finger is from the work. It just becomes natural after a while. So we will make a loop in each stitch until we have 1 stitch left. Okay, so now I finish working in each stitch. I have 1 stitch left, and I'll make my single crochet, my simple single crochet, and we are done with row 4. And from the back you will get this tight stitch, tight texture, and on the other side you will have the loops, and you can see there they're fairly the same size. It's okay if they vary slightly. You just don't want to have this situation here where one is really tight, one is really long. It won't look very well. But if you make them approximately the same size, like here, it's absolutely fine. Like I said, use some tape on your hook or some sort of point on your hook where you can measure, and that's how you control the size of your loops. So this is the pattern. All you have to do now is repeat rows 3 and 4 until you have the desired length. and you will end up with something like this, which is really nice and fluffy. It's really nice for rugs, for pillows, even for baby blankets. They're quite secure. They can pull on it and they will not unravel. The back it's quite tight and warm, and this looks really cute. And again, this is the 2-color one, where I change colors every 2 rows, and this is how it looks like. So yes, this is how you crochet the loop stitch. I hope you found my tutorial easy to follow. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments below, and I am more than happy to answer them. Happy crocheting!